I thought the topic is what is the preferred two. What is the preferred two-stent strategy? You can interpret it the way you want. I have no disclosures. Now, about a fifth of patients undergoing angioplasty have a bifurcation lesions. We all know technically it is difficult, time-consuming, higher resources, lower procedural success, and long-term results are not that great. Now, we don't know what should be the best treatment strategy. Because there is no robust randomized data available, mostly the strategies are based on the personal experiences when the data is not there. We must remember that no two bifurcations are identical, as there is variations in anatomy, and also there is a dynamic changes when we do the interventions, carina and plaque shifts. Reflecting this is the lots of classifications has been given, and the most accepted or known is the Medina classification, which tells us only whether the lesion is true lesion or involving both the main and side branch or a false bifurcation. But these classifications really do not help us in choosing the procedure. What we need to know is whether it is a true bifurcation and what is the angle of the side branch, because these are the two determinants which will decide about the plan. Then we have to know whether the side branch is supplying a significant area depending on its size and diameter, and also have to know the severity of the side branch stenosis and the length of the stenosis, also whether the calcification is present or not. So we can realize there are so many variables, so you have to have different approaches. The most accepted or almost default strategy these days is one stent provisional strategy. Just put the stent across as you saw and forget about it. But it is not so simple. If you look at the one stent or provisional strategy, there are many tips and tricks, and there will be lots of discussions. There are various points, whether to wire both branches, pre-dilate the side branch, how to jail the side branch, whether to jail the balloon also, do a pot, do a kissing or not, do a FFR, do IVUS or OCT guidance, final kissing, yes or no, and the type of stent you select. So I won't go into those details. Now, yes, it is a simple technique. We have to just keep the side branch open and that's it. Because the goal of a bifurcation stenosis is to have an optimum result in the main branch and keep the side branch open. Now, when it comes to two-stent strategy, what are the situations where you want it as a planned procedure? One is a crossover, when we have done the side provisional stenting with the one stent and you get the suboptimal results. Again, there will be a lot of discussion what is suboptimal, whether it is a plaque shift, more than 75% residual stenosis, less than TIMI, 3 flow, FFR less than 0.7, or obviously there are anatomical situations when there is a large dissections or patient has angina or ECG changes. Then there is a planned situation when we have a complex lesion. By complex, we mean a side branch of a significant size more than 2.5 has a severe and diffuse stenosis and the angle is not favorable for recrossing. These are the situations when most of the prefers to have a two-stent strategy. There are various techniques of two stents, as we won't go into the detail, and most of them are well known to you, starting from V and KISS, SKS to T stenting, crush and Coulette. Basically, there are 3 strategies, T, crush and Coulette with its modifications, and there are lots of it. Now, coming to 2, it is the simplest technique when the side branch is at 90 degrees, but you rarely have that angle. So if you do a T stenting, there will be a gap between the side branch stent and the main branch, which is a potential area for a restenosis. So this T has been replaced by TAP by pulling the side branch stent a little bit in the main branch so that you cover the side branch and then do a kissing. And that is the preferred strategy when you are doing a crossover two stent strategies. Many people prefer it also as a planned two stent strategies, but this is most commonly preferred when you have a crossover two stent strategy. Now coming to the crush technique, the classical crush is applicable for all true bifurcation when the angle is narrow. The advantage is it covers the side branch ostium and both the branches are patent throughout the procedure, so you have no hemodynamic compromise. The downside is you will have 3 metal layers and it will be difficult to recross. So this has been taken care of by many variations, like crush has been replaced with mini crush, so you have a less of steps, then decay crush and side step and so on. In the Coulet technique, what you do is, one of the disadvantages, one of the branches will not be open during the procedures. It's a preferred technique by many, but it's a cumbersome procedure. You have to wire and rewire the procedure. SKS is the simplest of that, but this has its own problem of neocarina and long-term problems. Now, if you look at the Syntex trial, you find 70% lesion have been done provisionally, and rest of the lesion have been equally divided. Now, what to do if 1 to 2, compare it with literature-wise, mostly the provisional is the better one. That has been shown by the meta-analysis also that the MI and stent thrombosis rate will be less with the provisional stenting. The 5-year follow-up of these trials is available, again showing a provisional or one stent is the better technique. The less the interference, as has been shown by SMART strategy, the better it is. But there can be different approaches. I won't go into the details of this provisional stenting. The Nordic force suggested that though no statistically different, but the MACE rates were less in the 2-stent strategy. So 2-stent strategy is also applicable if you are rightly choosing the pressures. And if you know, now let us look into the comparison of various 2-stent strategies in the literature. Very few literature available. DK crush has been shown to be better than the classical crush. If you go to DK crush 3 studies, they have compared Coulet with DK crush and found obviously that DK crush was better than the Coulet as far as MACE was concerned. But contradicting them were the studies Nordic 2, which showed that although the primary MACE rates were equal, but the stent restenosis rate were less with the Coulet, and as has been shown by another Chinese study that the composite MACE rates were better with Coulet as compared to DK crush 3. And if you look at the difference, it is not in the crush arm, it is in the Coulet arm. If you look at the DK crush 3, it has a 16% MACE rates versus this Chinese study of 5.3 and the Nordic study of 4.3. That means there will be very variables if you have the literature searched, because the number of patients studied have been very large. So that's why it is the individual which matters. If you look at the SKS, well, some believe that it's a very good technique. It is a good technique if you have in an emergency, like a patient is collapsing or patient has presented with primary angioplasty, to just do SKS or V stenting. But others have found that the TLR rates are too high, to the tune of 40%, and they are hardly done. Now, when you have to cross over which technique to do, T versus Coulet again has been compared and found to be, Coulet has been found to be better. Whatever the technique you use, the final kissing should be the essential. You can take the guidance of the IVUS. Now, which stent is better? We have graduated to DES. Whether we can graduate to BRS, so-called the 4th revolution, there are various advantages which have been told. There have been various case reports having the T stenting, mini crush, but there are only 2 large series available of 194 patients and 122 patients, again showing, yes, these are the early days, there are some problems. Maybe if the BRS is more often used in the real world, the bifurcation won't be left alone and there will be techniques. If you are doing a 2-stent strategy, it will be T or V, which will be mostly used, or a hybrid technology. What about the dedicated stents? There are only 2 trials which are compared. Triton, this did not meet the non-inferiority criteria, and there is a Cobra trial having the Axis stent, which again shown to be little bit better. Whatever the technique you use, if it is a 2-stent strategy, it will be DK crush or Coulet for a planned strategy, and it will be TAP for a provisional strategy. More attention should be paid to the optimizing the technique. Whatever you do, plan your strategies well and keep it simple, swift, and safe. Thank you.